more music.
Oh my God.
Here goes.
Blazing across the airwaves right now. Get ready.
Now this is Freddie McGregor, and you're tuned in to the baddest rhythm of all time.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is trying to change the world one track at a time.
Are we on the air?
Yes, you are. More music, more of the time.
Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Don't understand what's going on here.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and we are live. We are taking the time machine back to 1995. We've got a big panel. We are talking our top 10 favorite tracks. So bear with us. This might be a long one. All right, let's do it.
Grant is trying to change the world one track at a time. Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
All right, everybody, we are live and we are big tonight. Uh-oh, I hear music in the background. Anyway, hey, how is everybody? We are live. We've got Johnny Metal. We've got Mr. BM Bolt. We've got, looky here, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen him here or on the Contrarians for a long time. Uncle Meat.
Hello.
He's gracing our presence. Eric Hansen's here. DC's here. John the Music Nut. And Yvonne, the Music Man, is here. And we have, exactly, BM Bolt, small panel, ladies and gentlemen. We are taking the time machine back to 1995 and doing our top 10 tracks. Since we have a big panel, I know we can do this. Come on, we're all professionals. We're going to go 5 and 5, and we'll go around twice. All right, so I want to welcome everybody to the show. I see everybody's tuning in. We will show the comments up there. I think we are ready. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Johnny Metal to start us off. Johnny Metal, what are your...
Right, well... Let's get on the horsey here. Let's talk a little Steve Vai with that nasty, groovy, heavy track, Bad Horsey from the Alien Love Secrets EP. Of course, this is after the Sex and Religion album he did with Devin Townsend. Still plays this song to this day. Just a heavy, just a bludgeoning heavy song. Absolutely love the song. I'm sure this is probably going to pop up another time or two. So I won't talk too much more about that. Let's go. I might as well get my tribute stuff out of the way. Ozzy, I'll see you on the other side, my friend. That's my next one. Again, very thoughtful, kind of a powery ballady kind of song here, but just a song that just had such emotion for me, and I loved it back then, still love it now. So see you on the other side, Ozzy. One day we'll get there. All right, next one. I'm going to go with a song that probably nobody here on this panel will have heard. I've mentioned this band, I think, on the Contrarians once, where we did some strange album covers with medical devices or something along that line. Grant really liked it. It was called Appendectomy. The band's called Resurrection Band. That's not it.
Yeah.
And this would be their last album of original material before Glenn Kaiser would go solo. Very interesting thing about this album is who the producer was. John the Music Nut, I think you might know who the producer is. Here's this little guy named Ty Tabor.
Oh yes, I'm very familiar.
And he plays a little bit of lead guitar and acoustic guitar, produced and engineered a little bit. So yeah, he was very involved on this album. So very strong album, kind of a concept album. Resurrection Band is a Christian band, so the album does talk about kind of a man's disillusionment with the harshness and cruelty of life, and eventual realization that things will not change without his own spiritual redemption. So that's essentially what this whole album is about. Very solid album, but Across These Fields is a great track. Basically starts off the album. Very, 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 very strong song. Okay, let me get back to my list because I can't even remember what my list is anymore. I'm so used to doing it 5-5 and 5 or 3-3 and 5. Next song, John and I talked about this band. Grant Panel and everyone in the chat. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat. Okay, John and I talked about this band once in December. I already had a pick from their last album that came out in '94. This one, they decided to have a little fun with the Prince thing with the artist formerly known as Dangerous Toys. The song's called Take Me Swiftly, but when you listen to the song, you'd think it should be called Why Do I Care? Because this repeats and repeats and repeats that line. It has a galloping groove, kind of like Immigrant Song, but it's got this industrial sound. It's got that tinny Lars Ulrich, Saint Anger kind of drums, but it just fits better for this song, and it's a little bit more appreciative than Saint Anger. So Take Me Swiftly, great track. My last pick for this go around, I've talked a lot about these guys from Australia. Mortification, Christian metal band, song called Mephibosheth, co-written by a man named Doug Van Pelt, who was a publisher of a magazine called Heaven's Metal. Yep. And he and Steve Rowe were very good friends. So there you go. That album is great. I'm guessing they were talking about Dangerous Toys. Yeah, great album. But yeah, Mephibosheth from the Primitive Rhythm Machine album. Very strong album there as well. So there you go. There's my first 5.
Yvonne, did you get a family as a gift in 1995? I'm trying to follow what happened in 1995 that this totally changed your life, or what?
That was my last year. Before the next year, in '96, I got a kid, and
you got a kid.
That changes the whole
my
landscape.
last year as a young adult.
I got one. All right, cool. Thank you, Johnny Metal, for that. Let's throw it over to Mr. B.M. Bolt and see if he can dazzle us this time. I'm not sure. Where's Marlon at? I don't see him here yet. That's a shame. All right. B.M. Bolt, you're up.
Yeah, I gave Grant my list yesterday. I was looking at it, and I was like, this is the best I could find. I make you that way. But
well, you know what, Byron? I think it's what's great about it is that every year gets harder and harder.
Yeah, it is. And by this point, I was starting to listen to a lot more blues. Blues was kind of making a big comeback, and prog too. But I wasn't listening to any of this new prog in the '90s. I didn't discover it till probably late 2000s. So I got some blues on my list. I got some prog on my list. But we're going to start out with, you really can't see it, but I'm going to go with Alice in Chains Grind off of their self-titled album.
Great album.
Man, that track is heavy. I love it. Those dual vocals are just creepy to listen to at times. I love that track. But, Heaven Beside You is a good track on there. Over Now. I loved Alice in Chains in the 90s. So one of my favorite bands back in those days. We're going to go with another band that I pick every time they put out an album, it seems like. I'm going to go off the Marillion, Afraid of Sunlight. I'm going to go the title track, Afraid of Sunlight. Just a beautiful, emotional type ballad. Also, the song on here, Beautiful, I really like as well. I could have gone with either of those. So, yeah, check that out if you haven't heard that album.
Great pick.
All right. I think John Music Nut might like this next pick. I'm going to go the song Mule off of the first Government Mule album.
Nice.
I think that's got John Popper on harmonica, right? I didn't double check that, but it sounds like him.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a great slide solo on it with the Warren's just going off. But man, the bass underneath of that guitar solo is just crazy too. What was his name? Alan Woody, great bass player. He died way too early on us. So I actually got to see them with Alan Woody shortly before he died, I think. So I did get to see it with them. Okay, since we've already mentioned this album, so we're gonna go with Steve Vai. I'm gonna go Tender Surrender.
Oh yeah.
It's a real Wes Montgomery influence type song, but Steve's adding his own trademark to it and just kind of going off at times. But I just love that. Juice would have been another great pick off this album. So if you haven't got this one, people, go out and get it.
And he still plays Tender Surrender. Yeah, he played it the last couple of times I saw him live.
It's one of his classics.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my fifth pick.
Yes, sir.
'94, I picked a song by these guys that's actually on this album as well, but I picked it off of Vroom. But this is Thrak, so we're gonna go with a track off Thrak called "Dinosaur." Real heavy tune, very proggy. It's kind of got that industrial feel to it, like the stuff on Vroom did. I almost went with One Time, which is more of a ballad on here, but they're both solid tracks. So check that out too, people. All right, that's my 5.
Thank you. Tyler, so the Free as a Bird remix, is that going to be on volume 4?
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm not going to rebuy all those damn anthology CDs again. I'll just get 4 if it's on 4. But Tyler,
I got those at an estate sale for like 50 cents a pop, Grant.
Oh, I know. I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Why would I want to rebuy the set? I know we're already on a tangent, but people were bitching about it. Like, why are you making us buy all the anthology over again?
No.
You know, it seems silly if you've already got it. And at least they're going to release volume 4 on its own. They got the message. So, DC is going to pick Alone by Dark Tranquility and Shock Us All. Is that true, DC?
You'll have to tune into the whole show and find out, folks.
Great pick, Buyer. Dinosaurs on my list. Jason, nice to see you. Kristen agrees with me. He should. Queen, Made in Heaven, and AC/DC Ball Breaker. Well, I can guarantee you might see some Queen. I don't think anybody picked any AC/DC. I am speaking the gospel.
It's a rough album.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's keep going. Thank you, Mr. Bolt. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Meat is here tonight, and this is his virgin episode. So I expect a lot from him. So,
well, thank you. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you, and we got a lot of people here today, and that's great. So I'll start with my
we're up to 45. Let's see if we can get up to the numbers that we had for the John Lodge listening party last night. That would be, I would like that. Well, we're up to 50. It's getting up there. All right, we'll get up there. We'll get about 70. You just wait and see. All right, Mr. Meat. Okay. What's your I guess your first 5? However you want to present.
My first 5. Well, 1995 was definitely the year that I remember being a Columbia House year. There was a lot of Columbia House going on, and one of them is my first pick, which was a song called Memory Canyon off an album called Rite of Strings by a trio known as Al Di Meola, Jean-Luc Ponty, and Stanley Clark. I remember when I got this album on Columbia House, I get it, and I'm like, there's no drums on this album. And so it kind of threw me, and then it just got better and better the more I listened to it. And the last track, known as Memory Canyon, is a great track. So I had to include that because I listened to the shit out of that album that year. That was the first one. Second one, it comes from a band that I didn't really like back then, and David Letterman has been a reason that I have become a fan of the song More Human Than Human by White Zombie. Because one of my favorite videos on YouTube is Paul Schaefer playing keyboards with White Zombie on that track live, and then they all jump in a big pool of pudding. But really appreciate that song now, and I think it's a cool track. So that's the second one.
More on that a little later.
Yeah. Okay, the next one. In 1996, I saw my favorite concert of all time. I've been lucky to see a live. I've seen Maiden and Rush both 6 times, tons of stuff. But it turned out that a guy with just a guitar is my favorite concert of all time. It is Mr. Chris Christopherson. And there was a song called Johnny Lobo on his 1995 album that I remember being just an amazing track. And it was one of those situations where, and you see it all the time at concerts, like people are screaming out songs, screaming out, and no one ever acknowledges it. But when you're just standing there with a guitar, it's easier. And all of a sudden, like somebody screamed, "Play Johnny Lobo" from up in the corner. And I just remember so cool. He just paused and looks and goes, I could play Johnny Lobo. And he played it. So it was just amazing. So that is a favorite track of mine from him.
I want to say, Mr. Meat, thank you for that. This might be the first time we've ever jumped from White Zombie to Chris Christopherson on this show.
Well, that's a fun jump.
You're not going to get that variety anywhere else on the interwebs.
Only here in the warehouse, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, here we go again with jumping, because I'm going to go from Chris Christopherson to a little band called Fu Manchu. From their album Daredevil, a song called Trapeze Freak. Not one of my favorite albums by Fu Manchu. I think they put out 2 or 3 albums after it that are just absolutely killer. But the song Trapeze Freak, I always loved, and there we are. That is my fourth. And for the last one, I had to do it. I told Grant about this being a loophole, and I had to do it. The mid-'90s is a Tori Amos thing for me. I went crazy. I saw her twice in 95 and 3 times in 96. But you had an album in 94 and an album in 96. But it turned out that Cauda Sneeze was one of the first tracks ever released digitally on a Warner or Universal Music site in December. So I'm pulling a loophole and saying Tori Amos, Cauda Sneeze as my 5th pick. Thank you.
It's fine. That works. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have to give him some applause for variety. Let's be honest. Excellent, Mr. Meat.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, excellent. Oh, wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Marlon's here. Why so many panels? Where wasn't that great?
I agree, Marlon. Bad you.
Because this is what
we had
we
to find
do
the bottom of
in
the barrel somewhere.
Come on, Marlon.
It's the sense of community.
That's right.
Exactly. All right, cool. Thanks, Mr. Meat. Let's throw it over to Eric and get his 5. Eric, nice to see you. Welcome to the show.
All right, center square tonight.
Poland.
All right,
so this better be good.
This band's already been mentioned. Their self-titled one, Alice in Chains. Their 3rd record from the sludge metal band. I didn't say grunge. I said metal band. I chose Again. This was the 3rd single released from these guys. A very addictive riff by Jerry Cantrell. The vocals, they toe the line between creepy and uplifting, which to me, a lot of their songs are like that, which, that's why I love this band. So, yeah, I had to choose Alice in Chains. So, for my first pick.
That's a good song.
That's a good one. Second pick, I'm going to go with the 6th record from these guys, Bon Jovi, These Days. Yet another big commercial success at a time when bands like Bon Jovi weren't popular. Peter Collins actually produced this, who's worked with Gary Moore, Air Supply, Alice Cooper. I chose Something for the Pain. This only went number 76 in the U.S., but in Canada, it went number 10 or 15, number 10 in Europe. Very much a less slick produced song, but still a good rockin' one. Infectious chorus. Nice change of pace from these guys. That kind of fit into that musical climate in the mid 90s, at least here in the States. So, all right, number 3. I'm going to go with the lead singer for Stryper, Michael Sweet's solo record, Real. This is his actually 2nd solo album. This is a very stripped down acoustic type of record. I'm going with the opening track, Colorblind.
Yeah.
This is a good pick-me-up, attention-grabbing song to kick off the record. Lyrics that are always relevant, and a very good guitar solo from a guy by the name of Mike Slammer.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
No, I've heard of him.
So, yeah, if anybody's not interested, check out his Michael Sweet solo records. They're really solid. He's got a lot of really good guest stars. He's got Jeff Loomis from Nevermore. He's got Joel Hoekstra. Todd LaTorre sings on one of them. It's different than what Stryper does. So, all right, number 4 here. I am going to go with the band Stuck Mojo. This is the beginning. of the pioneers of the rap metal band, the mighty Stuck Mojo.
Mhm.
Country Media was the label, and the song Not Promised Tomorrow, kicking off the track on the Snap and Next record. What a groove these guys had. Lead vocalist Bones, he rapped, but it was like an aggressive, and it had almost like a singing quality to it in his approach. Guitarist Rich Ward, he's a true riff master. Of course, he's been with the band Fozzy now for 25 years. These Stuck Mojo, these guys were on a mission and just knew how to create attitude, aggression, fun. They put the pedal to the metal, pun intended there. And they never really looked back. I love Stuck Mojo. So, and then last but not least,
Rich is a good dude. Rich is a good dude. I've met him.
Yeah,
once.
he's awesome. Yep.
Monster
All right,
Madness.
last but not least, I'm going off their big breakthrough crossover record, DC Talk. Their fourth record, Jesus Freak. I'm going with the song In the Light. So this is a very convicting song lyrically with a fantastic sing-along chorus. And this has always been my favorite off this track. I mean, this album had... Yeah, these guys had like this was like a grungy alternative acoustic hip hop all over the place record. But, and I've said for years, this is probably one of the quintessential 90s records. I mean, just between you and me and What If I Stumble, they were on contemporary radio. And so I don't know. I've always liked this album. I never actually paid attention to the rest of their records. But good stuff. So there he is. My last In the Light by DC.
Nice.
Kelly, the Bon Jovi show's rescheduled. When we were scheduling that show, we were throwing out a lot of dates. And the date that I had written down that I thought was the date might not have been the date, and everybody else had a different date. So everybody got confused. But the show's ready to go, so all we have to do is do it. So I don't have to do anything. We're ready. And Slogan said something about that. What was that record again, Eric? That Bon Jovi record?
These Are the Days.
Yeah, he said that was the last listenable one. Well, kids, I'm going to have to disagree with that because
Bounce was pretty good.
I like Crash quite a bit, or Crash, whatever it's called.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
Okay. I know the DC Talk album, very strong CD. Excellent, Michael. That won't be the last time DC Talk will be mentioned on the show tonight. That is correct, Mr. Metal. Kevin Bull, look at this. Sabotage, Dead Winter Dead. Dead Winter Dead, last album they did. Great album.
Stick around.
Stick around. That might show up. Bon Jovi, the schedule for the 21st. No, damn it. We have to finish the series. I'm not just going to stop, Christian. Come on. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. Thank you, Eric. Let's throw it over to DC Tune Time, everybody. DC.
All right. It has been mentioned a couple times already, and for me as well. From here forward, things are changing with my yearly top 10 lists.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to the usual sources because Billboard and the top 40 listing of songs, which I was usually able to pull 5 or 6 in the top 10 back in the 70s, that is no more in 1995. There are 2 new sources that are appearing, and I'll back talk them on the end of this spiel. The one thing that will remain for my yearly list is the yearly Todd Rundgren performance or production pick. And for 1995 comes a tune from the album The Individualists. There were 3 or 4 songs vying for the honor, but I settled on one about my favorite beverage. And the tune is Espresso. It's got great melody that morphs even more frantically as the song goes on, just like our bodies respond to more and more coffee. Or my second pick is a little timely remembrance. Do you guys remember those music listening stations that would be in Borders or Best Buy? And you would put on those nasty ass headphones that 87 or so people put on their heads earlier in the day. and they were full of sweat, dandruff, and earwax. And it'd push a number to be able to listen to some tunes before you would decide to buy an album or not. Well, my second pick comes from Just Such an Experience. And again, I could have picked any number of songs from this album, but I went with Where's Summer Be from the debut album from Ben Folds 5. And I found this to be a breath of fresh air. Great piano-based pop. This tune starts out slowly and builds into a breezy, catchy pop number. And the whole album features a variety of approaches, which keeps it interesting. Piano, drums, bass, and that's it, baby, and it works. Now, for number 3, I'm going to go for a Swedish pop tune. And Sweden is so odd with music. You have these giant pockets of catchy, upbeat pop, and then you have a cult of death metal bands. So you got two ends of the spectrum here. But this song and album takes the baton of ABBA and carries it into the 90s. From the album Life, it's the Cardigans with Daddy's Car.
That's a good record.
Yeah. And just look at that album cover with the lovely lead singer Nina Persson, and you will feel the same kind of joy listening to this.
Well, I want to skate.
But like Marlon, if you don't like poppy girl vocals, then this isn't for you. Interestingly enough, this group would periodically do Black Sabbath covers. And they're great. And then on this album, they do a version of Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. And on another album, they do a version of Iron Man. And it's just very interesting to see this kind of band take, that kind of risk and do a song like that. And they do it in their own style. I think it's very cool.
Yeah, I've got that. DC, I wanted to add, I do have the CD, and the Black Sabbath cover is well worth the price alone.
It's just so inspired that a band that normally does this type of music would take a Sabbath song and incorporate it into their style, and it works for me and for Grant, apparently.
Evidently.
Number 4. I was living in Cincinnati in 1995, and the biggest band in town is featured as my next pick. It's from the album Awkwardsville, and this album might be my least favorite from the band, but it's got this song. It's the Psycho Dots with the song Moaner.
Great song.
Cincinnati is very Catholic, and this tune caused a bit of a stir as it references priests and nuns and extracurricular activity. But it's a catchy rocker with a humorous overtone, and that is always going to appeal to me. So, rounding out the first top 5, how about a tune from a band that is known for their relentless riffs that go on and on and on, but it works. It's Collective Soul from their self-titled album with Where the River Flows.
Oh, yeah.
That riff just grinds, and it's almost hypnotic, and it's kind of grungy, and I love it. And that's it for my first 5.
All right, excellent. I didn't pick anything from the Psycho Dots, but I love that album. I love all Psycho Dots albums, DC.
Yeah, they're a great band, but that album is my least favorite of all their albums.
So if anybody wonders who are the Psycho Dots are the band The Bears without Adrian Belew.
Okay.
So, and if you know the Bears originally started out for the Raisins in Cincinnati, pretty much. And Adrian Belew produced their first album. So that's kind of where the relationship came. But I love all that. Rob Fetters stuff, Bob Nicewonger stuff, all that stuff. I love all that.
Rob Fetters is really a fine songwriter. Quirky and catchy pop. Thumbs up for him from old DC.
Yep. All right, let's send it over to John the Music Nut, and then Digon will get to Yvonne. So you'll be fine. Just be patient.
Everybody simmer down. Simmer down.
Right. John the Music Nut, you are up, my friend.
Thank you. Well, I really love the musical variety here. It's pretty interesting that I have some of the more mainstream picks on this one, particularly when your first pick is Primus. So I'm going with Southbound Pachyderm.
Yes.
Tales from the Punch Bowl. You know this song, it's known for that very distinctive bass riff. Dur, 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 dur. Comes in,
One more
time, DZ.
You just have a stroke.
For those
You
of
see,
you
are you
who
okay?
don't know the song, it's very, very quiet and eerie and spooky and altogether ooky. And then that bass line comes in. Dur, 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 dur. Listen to the you know you got a
You're riling up Dementia Cat.
That riff is so potent it will take away the dementia. It will kill the dementia, mind you.
Freedom.
He's cured.
That was awesome.
Oh,
Anyway.
Lord.
Oh, my God.
Southbound
The cat.
Pachyderm. Pretty good album by Primus. But yes, check out the song, and I'm not joking. That's how that riff goes. Number 9, I mentioned this band last month when we did 1994. They're out on tour now in stadiums across the United States. If you'd like to get a foreclosure notice in the mail, you could go see them live and actually get tickets on the floor. This is Oasis, and this is off of What's the Story, Morning Glory, and I'm not going to go with one of the big 3 hits here in the United States. I'm going with Some Might Say. And I believe this was a hit in the UK. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of the great songs. I mean, this whole album's great.
I do want to throw this out there since you brought Oasis up.
Yes.
It still goes to show you that they still love music in the UK. This has to be. I know Taylor Swift is gigantic, but think about this. How many nights did they sell out Wembley? Like a week or something? They might be possibly the biggest band on the planet. What
People
other band can do that?
People forget how big Oasis was, and man, a lot of people have been clamoring for those brothers to mend the fence.
Never
But
listened
man,
to it.
well, Oasis was way bigger across. They were never that big here, so we might look at it and go, "What the hell?" But man, you have to hand it to them. At least people still care, you know. I don't know what other band could sell out Wembley for a week. I don't know.
This is one of their biggest selling albums in the history of the United Kingdom, too. This went like platinum many, many times over. Awesome, though. Great album, some might say, but number 9. Number 8, we got our first repeat.
Oh.
I also went with Where the River Flows by Collective Soul.
Boom. And all you folks giving me crap in the comments there. Me and the music not on the same page with the Collective Soul.
Yeah, that's right. This is grunge without the distortion. This is a cool tune. They still do this live. I just saw them do this live recently. Excellent track.
Excellent.
Very good. All right, number 7. This is something that BM Bolt might have later on. Maybe not this song, but I'm gathering he's going to have this gunslinger of a guitar player. This is from his debut album. This is Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And the song is Deja Voodoo.
I might have something off that.
Yeah. I'm thinking
It'll pop
that.
up again.
Oh, nice. You gotta love that triple bill there, West Coast Dave.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but this was
Primus, Pixies, and Smashing Pumpkins triple bill.
yes,
Man, what year was that, Dave?
probably 95.
Probably.
Well, there you go. So this is a kick-ass track, very accessible blues album that went platinum, which was an anomaly back then. And this next one will go platinum too because he had a really big hit off it called Blue on Black. Maybe we'll hear that in 97. That's my number 7, Deja Voodoo. Number 6, She Thinks She Missed the Train from Mars. She's out back counting stars. That's Hum with Stars. The only, I think it's the only
Good
real
record.
big hit they had. Yeah.
But the whole record's good. Whole record's good, John.
Oh, I agree. Definitely. Yeah. Very strong record. Although I never heard the whole record until the pandemic when we couldn't do anything but buy CDs and do YouTube shows.
Yeah, well.
That's right. Yeah. Kenny Wayne Shepherd didn't sing. That's true. I'm just referring to the comment before, but this is a great record.
Yes.
Stars was the big hit off it. Yeah, he didn't sing. That was Corey Sterling that did the vocal on the first album, and then from there he had Noah Hunt.
Noah, yeah.
Noah's a great singer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Vicky, you might hear that later. All right, I'm done. Stars by number 6.
Hey, Grant, can I jump in for just a second to
You
address
can
a
even
comment?
chop in if you want.
Okay. Our friend Pop Optic Michael said, DC, if you like Ben Folds 5, I will have to turn you on to a Nashville band called Fluid Ounces. Yeah, I picked Fluid Ounces as one of the bands I featured on Bands You Should Know about a month ago. So, yeah, I am very familiar with Fluid Ounces, and they are great. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Tune Time. All right. Cool. All right. Let's keep going. So everyone's been waiting. Digon's been waiting for Yvonne ever since we started. So, Yvonne, this better be good because Digon needs to get to bed.
Yeah. I see. I have all the picks you have today is more rock or heavier. So now we are time for some pop music. And this was the best movie in '95, Batman Forever. So that's a little trivia for you. But in 1995. I'm always interested in new technology, and of course, I started with the music tapes and LP, vinyl, and then I got to CDs. But in 1995, I also played this called mini disc, and that was a big hit in Japan and Europe, but not so big in America. I think it's a Sony thing, and you can record music on 74 minutes on the mini disc. But
Yvonne, I had a mini disc. I actually still do have a mini disc recorder in my system. Yeah.
That's nice. I had a big one also, but that's broken. Yep. So. But in 1995, we got the first a single from the Beatles, and of course we have talked about it in the chat. This is the Anthology, and "Free as a Bird" is one of the songs of the Anthology vinyl here, and I also have the CD. And I heard Anthology 4 will also come out, and on a separate vinyl after people have complaining. So I think I hope Free as a Bird, the new version of that, will be on that, but maybe they put it on this Anthology. This was number 1, I think. But Free as a Bird was, of course, as people know, originally written by John Lennon. I think it was in '77, and then they used the song and released it in the day after my birthday, in 4th of December in 1995. So that was my number 10 pick. Yeah. So let's see. Number 9. Mm-hmm. That's a song called from a group called Garbage. And Garbage, I really like them. It's alternative rock music, and the song I've picked is "Stupid Girl," and it's also they have taken some part of the Clash song from Train in Vain in this song "Stupid Girl," but it's a very good song and new wave style, and I really like that song. So that was number 9 on my list. So then we go to get to number 8, and number 8 is a little special one because this song is on this record here, Made in Heaven. It's a CD and the vinyl, and Made in Heaven, of course, is Made in Heaven. It's made after Freddie Mercury is dead, and it's a lot of songs on here. Some songs are already released by Freddie Mercury on his solo album. And also some songs are rewritten and taken new vocals on. But the song I have picked is "Too Much Love Will Kill You." And of course, it's a very nice song. And if you think about Freddie Mercury, he was so good. And I really love Queen. And this was the last Queen album from the studio album from Queen. So that was my number. I think it was number 8. Yeah. Yeah, and number 7 is going to be this group here. This is a record from this year, and it's Pulp. And this is the More album. And the More album, it's a very good album from this year. And if people have not heard it, you should check it out. It's maybe on my top 10 list this year. But the song we are talking about is, of course, Common People. And Common People is from the Different Class album from the Pulp. And Pulp was also Britpop, but I was more into Pulp and other group than Oasis. But this Common People is so good, and it was released in October in 1995. And it's a catchy song, and this album here, the debut album to Pulp, Common People, is the best album from Pulp. And if people have not heard it, they should check it out. It's a very good album.
Yvonne, I've got that record.
Yeah, that's good. So then we go to my number 6 pick, and that's is American singer. Most of the panelists in America, I'm in Europe, Norway, so maybe I have a different taste of music, but but this is One of Us with Joan Osborne, and it was released in November 1995, and the song was on her first, I think her debut album called Release. And One of Us was a very good song and a catchy song, and I think it was on MTV and everything. But I really like that song. So that was my top 5, my from 6 to 10 songs.
Co-written by a couple of the Hooters, I believe, if my memory serves.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
It does sound like the Hooters, though, if you think about it. But that's a great song.
Yeah.
What? DC?
Hooters. Bosoms.
Thank you for that, DC. My goodness. All right, cool. Thank you, Eve.
That was the original name of the band.
Yeah. I thought it was a little crass.
Right.
A little bit.
Has anyone seen the Lilith Fair doc on Netflix?
No, but thanks for reminding me.
No.
I'd kind of like to see it because I did see the very first Lilith Fair tour in Toronto because I was in my Tory, whatever, Natalie Merchant phase, etc. So,
Yabos. My personal favorite would be Golden Bozos. All right. People are saying, well, wonder what Grant's going to pick. Well, I don't know where Al is, but Al nailed this because this is my first pick. And I was doing this task. I put this whole show together, then I do my picks. And I picked nothing else than anybody else picked. But Al, I was watching Al's comments. I hope Al's still here. But he totally picked a lot of the things that I picked. My first one I'm going to go with PJ Harvey, Down by the Water, To Bring You My Love. This is more polished, bluesy, very atmospheric type of sound. Released February of 1995. It's not a real, it'd be a good, I'm going to have to play that for the Halloween listening party. I'll just leave it at that. Yep. We'll be playing that later. This is a perfect track for that. But she sounds very sultry, very minimalist in the production. Great track. All right, my next one. This might be a little bit controversial, but this did get a major release on Elektra this year, even though I do believe this came out on an independent album in 93, but whatever. No one ever heard it until 95. And I figured, I still like this song, so what the heck. I'm going to go with... Better Than Ezra Good off of Deluxe. So I can still listen to it, and I'll still listen to it. I think that's the only track that ever caught any momentum back in the day, but yeah, I think it's good. I guess technically it came out in 93, but no one knew it. No one ever caught on to it. So we're going to go with that. Another track. God, this record, I like the whole record. Love the whole record. Going to go my number 8, Elastica Connection, off of 1995. Again, I think this was on Geffen. Standout track. They always put this in. I'm going to ask Yvonne. Yvonne, do you consider this Britpop?
No, maybe a little, not totally Britpop. Maybe it's new wave or something like that, or I don't know.
I hear more new wave, post punk, even though we're in '95, but they categorize this in the whole Britpop movement. I don't hear it. I mean, if you like post punk, this would fit right in. I'm just saying. But this is a pretty big record. Also, one of those CDs that you can go out in the wild and find for $1. You know, that's the beauty of the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. All these CDs you could probably go out and you wouldn't have to spend very much money on because they all seem to end up in the bins. All right, my next pick. Oh, well, of course, you know I'm going to choose something off of this. Duh. Matthew Sweet.
Yep.
I almost forgot off 100% Fun. This is a lesser known gem from his from this power pop master glossy production. I think this had Brendan O'Brien production on this record, but this is a melodic, introspective ballad. Jangly guitars, Matthew sitting there playing piano. I saw him play this live, and it was just him on stage playing piano, singing to it. This wasn't a hit or anything, but I think it's a standout track from this record, so I'm going to go with that. Oh, this is a great track. My number 6, I'm going to go with, once I find it. Oh, there it is. I love this song. Filter. Hey, man, nice shot.
Love that song.
When this was in 95, I'm thinking, good Lord, how heavy is this? I mean, holy crap. I mean, is this industrial? It's kind of like 9 Inch Nails meets, I don't know, metal, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of grinding guitars on it.
It's like a helmet thing. Helmet.
It's almost like a helmet thing.
Yeah.
Richard Patrick's vocals great. Yeah, I guess I would say if you combine it, mix Soundgarden and 9 Inch Nails, that might be what you get. I don't know. Great track. They played this a lot in 95, and I still think this holds up, and I don't think this song is dated at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's such a 90s album cover, too.
Yeah, it is.
It's good, though. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Kelly W., Mad Season, Wake Up. All right. Wait a minute. Marlon, okay, here we go. Oh, Grant. 0-5, shocker. See?
Oh, Marlon, wait. You haven't gotten to my last 5 yet, so we'll hopefully make up for that.
Marlon, what did you expect? Okay. Was that 5?
I think
5.
Yes.
All right, that's 5. All right, cool. Wow. God knows Byron's keeping track. All right. Thank you, Grant. Oh, you're welcome anytime. All right, let's throw it over to. We're just going to keep going.
John and I know about Filter because we saw them open for Ozzy up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We didn't know each other, but we were at that same show, and that was 95, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah.
So 96.
95, 90, yeah, something like that.
96.
Okay. Either way, we know about Filter, and I remember that show, and I was like, oh man, this is Hey Man Night. No, that's not Hey Man Night Shot. Oh yeah, this is Hey. No, that's not Hey Man. Oh, there's probably Hey Man Night Shot.
There's Hey Man Night Shot.
Anyway, all right, my list.
All right, cool.
All right, so Eric, you've already talked about this band, and so I'm gonna talk about it again. I didn't hear this song until about 1998, and for me, as a young Christian person at the time, when I heard this track for the first time, it blew my mind because I didn't think Christian music would even get to this level of production and sound and just how this song really came together. What would people think when they hear that I'm a Jesus freak? What would people do when they find it's true? DC Talk Jesus Freak, the title track. This song has so much of that Nirvana alternative rock feel, but you get Toby Mac's hip hop stuff kind of thrown in there, and it just works. You get Tate's vocals, you get K Max's vocals all thrown in there, and it just works so well. But this is just a really banging song, and this whole album, I tell people, it's like I can't listen to DC Talk prior to this album because anything prior to this album is just I can't. I just can't. So Anyway, I love Jesus Freak. I love this album. It's one of my favorite. I was crazy.
My wife saw them in concert. I think she's got the drumstick. She caught it on this tour. Yeah.
I would see them.
Hey, and that's the drumstick. You got it.
Yeah. I would see them on the 99 for the Supernatural tour.
Yeah.
But and I still have that shirt from that. So now you want to talk about variety. So we go from DC Talk.
Yeah.
And this song has actually been brought up already. I believe Mr. Meat brought this one up.
He did.
We know Uncle Meat is more human than human.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sorry. I was listening to this playlist again on my way home from work, and the song just kind of comes on, and you just can't help but just like groove to this song. You know, I would try to do it, but I would look like some kind of a freak show here, so that I won't do it. But man, what a groovy song! And it's not even that hard. I mean, it's just like a dun dun, but that drum rhythm is what really carries it, and Rob's vocal and melody is just crazy. I love that song. So, yes. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting there, Pop Op. That very cool. Right. So my next song. Now you want to talk about variety. Now I am normally not the type of person who would talk about something from a tribute album, but I have to make an exception for this one.
Okay.
This album isn't really the greatest when it has songs with most of the stuff that's on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I heard the version of Going to California by Never the Bride, I think it brought tears to my eyes. Now, obviously, that's not the cover for this. It's from the Led Zeppelin tribute album. But and if I was actually going to rank the songs on Led Zeppelin 4, Going to California would probably be my least favorite. And I love the entire album, but hearing these girls do Going to California, it just brought something different out, and it just brings out a totally different sadness and emotion about it. And I really enjoyed this version. So it's really, really a cool version out there. It's not on Spotify. You're gonna have to look it up on YouTube if you want to hear it. But it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, there you go, Brian. You've heard it. Yeah. They do. It's a nice piano and cello version. It's basically all the music that's to it. So very, very cool. My next song, I'm almost positive this is a wall puncher for a lot of people, but because Sabotage did this song in 1995 on Dead Winter Dead, yes, folks, Christmas Eve Sarajevo, of course. I still love that song. It's one of the few Christmas songs I can actually tolerate and listen to. And so, of course, I'm going to talk about this. Of course. It's a great song. I love the guitar playing in this song. It is a very cute video, too. But yes, thank Trans-Siberian Orchestra for all their years of making epileptics die with their light shows and their great music.
My goodness.
It's weird. You go to their concerts and there's like people in their 80s and they're rocking out to this prog metal.
Yes.
This was prog metal.
Yes. It's crazy how it works out, but go ahead. Anyway, my last song, Wasp Wednesday, folks. Come on. You know I'm going to pick a Wasp song, for crying out loud. From the Still Not Black Enough album. I'm going with the album closer, No Way Out of Here. To me, I don't know. That song has come to mean something to me because I probably related to Crimson Isle so much. And then I listened to that song and I'm like, man, I just felt so emotionally connected to that track because he's black. He's basically saying, hey, and Johnny's me. And it's like, this the emotions he went through with writing that album. So there you go. Wasp, of course, I got to pick a Wasp song for my top 10. So there you go, folks.
Excellent work. Excellent work. All right. Thank you, Mr. Metal. Let's throw it over to Mr. Bolt and see what his final 5 are. Byron?
Yeah, of my final five, I had maybe two that I really liked, and then the rest I was like, yeah, I got to pick something.
Jesus.
I got a whole bunch of honorable mentions too. They're all like, yeah, these are okay.
So don't turn the channel, folks.
Yeah. I'm sure Byron's going to dazzle you with these.
Hey,
excitement coming up.
No, you know what? I think I've seen at least two of my picks so far in the final five were already picked by other people in the comments. So I think that I'm going to be all right here. So let's start out with Porcupine Tree. The sky moves sideways. I'm going to go phase one. I don't know. There's the phase two, whatever. They're both similar. They're both like 18 plus minutes.
They're both in phase or out of phase, whatever.
But it's very Floydian type track. Really long. I love it. It's just relaxing. Just really sets the mood. Just kick back and have a beer, whatever, and enjoy it. So yeah, that's probably the first Porcupine Tree pick ever on the show. I don't know, but or maybe somebody picked something before. But
we've had Porcupine Tree on here before. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The next pick is kind of obscure. I bet you John, the music nut, knows it though. It's going to be Ian Moore, Muddy Jesus.
I have it.
Did you pick it too? You own it.
It's not on my list, but I have that album.
Oh, I think you locked up, John. Well, you
I have the album.
Okay. Yeah. His first two albums got quite a bit of airplay, at least where I'm at. And then he just kind of disappeared. But I really like this track. It's aggressive with his wah playing, and it's just great. I got to see him live one time, but it was just like him and another guy. It was just an acoustic show. I was kind of disappointed because I wanted to hear some rock and blues, but it's a pretty good tune. So that's my second one. All right, I'm going to go Ozzy. I'm going to go Perry Mason. I also put down See You on the Other Side. John already picked that, but to me, this is one of Ozzy's last really good songs, I thought. It's got some of those trademark Ozzy parts with the keyboards, and Zach's really cutting loose on it. So, yeah, this was really kind of the end for me with Ozzy. I mean, I've got a couple of later albums, but they just weren't the same anymore. I'm going to go Kenny Wayne Shepherd, like John had mentioned, but I'm going to go with Born with a Broken Heart, which I think was that was the first track that got played on here. Maybe not. I think Deja Voodoo.
First track on the album, second single.
Yeah, I think it was the second single. Such a great blues debut. And what was he, 18?
Yeah,
Yep.
He was young. Yep.
He just looks like a baby on the cover.
Yeah,
He just
17 or 18 there. Yeah.
I saw him.
And have you noticed that Johnny Metal has this Kenny Wayne haircut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's throw it out there.
Yeah, I saw them on this tour in a bar. I mean, he wasn't old enough to drink, but it was funny because it was like wintertime and their van broke down. They were coming from Des Moines. There you go, Marlon. There's a Des Moines rental. They were driving, I think, from Des Moines to Omaha, and the van broke down, and they had to get it working again. So they were real late for the show to begin, but they ended up playing. It's a long time ago. My last pick, I think Kyle mentioned this. I'm going to go with UFO Push to the Limit off of their comeback album with Shank.
Neat.
All right, Marlon.
Not a great song, but I thought I'll throw it on.
That's neat.
But it was a good comeback album. What they did,
Yeah.
three albums with Schenker on the comeback. This, Covenant, and Sharks.
I think so.
I think, yeah. I
No,
think so.
Marlon, hit us with it. You would know.
So
Marlon, weigh in.
Come on. That would be my last pick.
He's so quiet.
Cool.
I just want him to give you like some kind of prop BM just to build you up a little bit.
I guarantee you, he's not going to give me an 0 for 5 like he gave you.
No, I can guarantee that.
I think I got a 3 from Louder Than Life, maybe. It's hard to say.
I don't know what that means. Where did Marlon go? Oh, well, we have to keep moving. All right, Marlon, please weigh in. All right, let's throw it over to wait a minute. Here we go. 3 out of 5.
I feel like he was here for my first 5, so.
All right, so you're doing better than most. I'll give you that. All right, cool. Let's throw it over to Mr. Meat. Mr. Meat, you're up.
Okay. It seems that Mr. Bolt had a couple of mine in his first 5. And we'll start with my number 5. I guess if it's ranked from 5 to 1. Number 5 is from the album Afraid of Sunlight by Marillion. And I'm going to go with the last track, King, which I really, really love that track. I could have picked Beautiful. I could have picked
good album.
Yeah. Back then, I didn't necessarily love it because I was still in a fish hangover. And it took me longer time to appreciate Hogarth, and I certainly appreciate him now, and have for a long time. So King by Moran is my number 5. My number 4, I might call, to me, the most creative and one of the most important songs that I could even mention, and it is from her second album called Post. It is Bjork, and at first I was going to pick It's All So Quiet, and I think that's what I'm going to pick. I'm actually going to go with a song called Hyper Ballad, which is just an outstanding track. Her lyrics are outstanding. Her approach is completely different than any other artist ever, and that's now 30 years later. And nobody is her. You can try, but you can't be. She's never duplicated, so.
Hey, Meat, real quick. Do you like the Sugar Cubes?
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I've only in the last few years have I really delved hard into it. I really, really like it. Like post-punk and with a fury. I'm really happy with that stuff, and I just want to get into more. It's a good stuff. Like they have like 4 albums, right? At least
they did like a remix album. There's 3 Sugar Cubes albums, and then like one like remix thing that I don't think I've got that.
All right. Okay. My number 3 was mentioned by Mr. Bolt again. The album Thrack, and the same song. It is Dinosaur, which is definitely my favorite song on that album. I could have picked People, which is another song I really love, and there's some other, but I mean. Adrian Belew now has become over the years now maybe my favorite singer. I recently saw the Beat tour in Toronto, and he was so good live. I'm such a Belew nut now, and I highly recommend really anything that Adrian Belew does. You need to check out. He's a master.
Yeah.
My number 2, speaking of what I call a master, is a songwriting master from an album called Train a Comin', which is an album that I love, one of my favorite albums of that year. Mr. Steve Earle, love the man. I could have picked anything off this album, but I ended up picking a song called Tom Ames' Prayer, which has about 9 pages of lyrics, and they're all outstanding. I'm a huge fan of what he does, and it would have been my number 1 if there wasn't my number 1 that existed. So Steve Earle, love him. He's the man. But to me, there was nothing more I could pick for my number 1 than a 23-minute song by a band that I respect so much. From A Change of Seasons album, it is the song A Change of Seasons by Dream Theater, which is ironically, they are this year playing live for like a first time, like as a thing, 30 years later, which I really would love to have got a chance to see it live. But on this tour that they're doing, Change of Seasons, it's a North American tour without Canada. So that's just the way it goes. But I love the song. If you're not a Dream Theater fan, you'll detest that it goes on for 23 minutes. If you are a Dream Theater fan, you love that it's that long and you find it original and amazing. So
Change of Seasons is awesome. I love it. I'm not a Dream Theater nut, but I like that song quite a lot.
It's a good one.
It's great.
Everybody's gonna weigh in. Grant loves Dream Theater. Oh,
there you go. Yeah.
Oh, I just love it. Just love it. I don't get it. I think every season is on that cover. I think there's snow on the ground.
Yeah. Snow on the ground. He's playing on a beach, and
I think it's
cloudy in the spring. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Thank you, everyone.
Number one. Thank you, Mr. Meat. All right. Eric, we'll throw it over to Eric. We're almost wrapping this dog up. We're going pretty good for the amount of people that we have on here. So we're only like an hour into it. We're doing really good. All right, Eric, what you got?
Somebody mentioned in the comments, I Will Remember by Toto. Man, that just missed it. But I was looking at that whole album as a total, and it's kind of hit or miss, Tamboo. But man, I love that song. Anyhow.
Kyle's coming to Grant's Prog Metal Warehouse. Exactly.
All right, my first pick. This is the fourth album by these guys called Devil in the Details. I'll go with Saigon Kick. And the song Killing Ground. Very diverse record from these guys, which is kind of their MO. Killer guitar riff, trademark vocal harmonies, and a very memorable chorus. Unfortunately, these guys were labeled as a glam metal band, which they weren't. In fact, Jason Bieler mentioned that they were all too alternative for the metal crowd and too metal for the alternative crowd. And definitely check out Jason Bieler's, Baron von Bielski's records if you like the Devin Townsend Project albums. Very similar. Talented guy. I always love Saigon Kick. Excuse me. That's my first pick. Next up, another band that kind of got lost in the 90s here, but I am going to go with Night Ranger. Their album Feeding Off the Mojo and the song Last Chance.
Great record.
Gary Moon steps in. Jeff Watson was stepped out. Of course, Jack was with Dan Yankees. This is just a great, catchy tempo, mid-tempo rocker that really kind of should have been released as a single. But again, were these guys, anybody listening to these guys in 1995? No. And I always thought this was just a really good record from them. I think it deserves more love, completely overlooked. So
and even Night Ranger disowns it,
which is that's
which they should, because the songwriting's good, the production's good.
Yeah. Gary sounds good on it.
He sounds great on it.
Yeah.
If you can find it and you can get it cheap or whatever, you won't. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right, my next pick. I am going to go with probably my favorite prog metal band, Symphony X. This is their second record, Damnation Game. First one with Russell Allen on vocals. I'm going to go with A Winter's Dreams Part 1 and 2. Just the beautiful, serene melodies. The chorus on Part 2 is like from another planet. It's so catchy and memorable. I've always loved Fate's Warning, Queensryche Dream Theater. I heard these guys and I was hooked immediately. Michael Romeo, everybody's like, oh, he's like an Yngwie. To me, he's like a little bit more like a Randy Rhoads, early Paul Gilbert with Racer X. And I just saw these guys a few weeks ago. New album next year. So, all right, Johnny's already mentioned these guys, and I had to pick my favorite metal band of all time, Savatage. Christmas Eve, Sarajevo. So the first time I saw Trans-Siberian Orchestra, my wife and I had floor tickets. They started the Prelude to Madness. Trans-Siberian calls it The Mountain. I probably was the only one in that whole stadium that stood up and went, yeah. My wife is like, will you sit down? Because, we had 60s and 70-year-olds sitting next to us. They're like, what's Prelude to Madness? What is, it's, I love this. This is an underrated album by them. Zachary Stevens sounds awesome on this vocally. But everything that Johnny said, I agree with on that one. All right, last up. I'm wearing their hat. 1995, The Balance record by the mighty Van Halen. And I'm going with the song Amsterdam. A more serious approach for the band here. The guitar riff by Eddie is infectious. Man, what an innovator that guy was. Somewhat silly lyrics, but let's be honest, it's not the first time for them. A standout track on an album that is underappreciated is some really strong stuff on there. Again, I will defend the Sammy Hagar era with Van Halen. I'll fight you all day, every day, Saturday through Sunday. So there you go. There's my fifth pick.
Excellent. Thanks, Eric. Excellent work. All right, Mr. DC Tune Time, you are up.
All right, next five. Let's start off with a slightly countrified tune from a band that not a lot of people know much about, but their albums are very consistent in quality. And I picked the Jayhawks with Blue from the album Tomorrow the Green Grass. Great vocal treatment here. Starts simple with harmony vocals and just an acoustic guitar, and then it builds. Like I said, great melody and vocals. And we were touching on covers throughout the show tonight, and noted on this album, the band does a wonderful cover of Grand Funk's Bad Time. So you can get on YouTube and listen to it. It's a really inspired cover of
Thank
that
you, DC.
tune.
I was wondering if that was the band that did Bad Time.
Yes, sir. There you go, Eric.
Yeah. I love that song in general, but yeah, I remember.
Yeah, they had a nice version of it.
Yeah.
Let's go with some funk from One Hot Minute. It's the Red Hot Chili Peppers with Aeroplane.
Good
And
tune.
hey, Grant, how about that bass line on that tune? Yow.
Yow.
Which begs the question.
Yes.
Is Grant secretly Flea, bassist
Oh,
of the
here
Chili
we go.
Peppers?
You gonna bring that back up?
And and Grant's always railing about the shirtlessness when it
We're
comes
not
to
on Rachel's
rockers.
channel. We're not on Rachel's channel. That's supposed to go away.
I think he has more teeth than Flea.
Yeah, well, man, I don't have much room to talk about teeth, but man, they're spaced out, aren't they? Though. Anyway, they carried the torch of rock and roll artist shirtlessness into the 90s. And then it's a toe tapper, not a foot stomper, but it is a toe tapper. On to my earlier spiel about two sources that came into play in this time in my life. One of them was Pop-Sided Magazine, which I think hopefully Michael's still here, who goes as Pop Optic, and Stephen Schnee founded that magazine. Those cats turned me on to tons of music. That was the soundtrack of my life at this time. And also the second was Not Lame, which was a mail order company and record label. And they specialized in power pop and melodic pop rock from around the world. And my next three picks will be from those two sources. We had Aeroplane. Now we're going to go with another song called Aeroplane by the Merrymakers. This is from their album No Sleep Till Famous. This is another Swedish band. And this tune is a pop 60s take of a Burt Bacharach bossa nova tune. It's just got that kind of styling. The whole album is not that way, but I like variety in my music. And this is so off the beaten path from all my other picks here that I picked this tune from the album, but lots of good tunes here. When that Not Lame catalog came out quarterly, it was not unusual for me to order 20 CDs. That's how much what was carried by them was right in my sweet spot. So, last two here. Another artist who I believe I was exposed to from the pages of Pop-Sided and purchased from Not Lame was a producer artist who came up in our recent discussion of Jellyfish spinoff group Imperial Drag. And this cat produced that album. His name's Brad Jones, and this album is called Guilt Flake. And the song I chose is the Blunderbuss. Again, I could have picked any number of songs from this album. It's catchy, melodic power pop. And if that's up your alley, check this album out. It's a really good one. Last pick. If you like orchestrated pop rock of the more personal side of Brian Wilson, then you will love my next pick. Again, I got exposed to this band from Pop-Sided Magazine. I purchased a CD from Not Lame. It's the Wondermints, and the song is Proto Pretty from their debut. The whole album is a treasure trove of songcraft and vocal and instrumental goodness. These guys were also in that Austin Powers movie with that band with Susanna Hoffs. I think they were called Ming T. But anyway, one case of Rolling Stone having rare insight that played to my taste. They actually picked the Wondermints as a band to watch in 1995, but they never reached that plateau that they should have, in my opinion. And these guys have played with lots of great players. In fact, many of them played with Brian Wilson for a long time towards the end of his career. And another guy, this Robin Gregory, who is a multi-instrumentalist, played with Rundgren when he did the Burt Bacharach tour recently. So all highly accomplished players, songwriters, great stuff. And I'm done.
Excellent work. And don't forget that Ming T had Matthew Sweet in it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How can I forget that?
Oh, okay.
Susanna Hoffs. Maybe it had a Come Wondermint in it. I don't remember. All the Wonderman stuff is great. If you can find it anywhere, not a bad record in the lot. In fact,
no, they're all great.
If I'm correct, I do believe that they're reissuing it on vinyl. There was, is it The Wonderful World of the Wondermint is coming out?
That's another one. There's Bally, and they released about 4 or 5 albums, all jam-packed with good stuff, if you like this kind of pop music.
Yes, he did bring the Smile Project back to life. Yep. All right, cool. Excellent, DC. Let's throw it over to John the Music Nut. Get his final 5.
All right. My number 5 is a super group made up of members of Alice in Chains, Screaming Trees, and Pearl Jam. It's Mad Season and the single River of Deceit. Song that has aged not one iota since it was released in 1995. A fantastic track. This is a great album, too. It doesn't sound much like any of the other bands that they're in outside Mad Season. This is a great album, and I love this song. I've loved it since the get-go. That's my number 5, River of Deceit, Mad Season. Number 4, I saw some Radiohead love in the chat. I'm going to give some, but I'm not going to go with the songs you may think I'd go with. I'm going with Black Star. I think the song is magnificent. It's so melodic and so majestic. I think it's a fantastic track. I love Tom York's vocal on it. Love the chorus. It's awesome. That's my number 4, Black Star, Radiohead. Number 3, I saw some Foo Fighters love earlier on tonight. I'm going to give you some too. And this is I'll Stick Around, the second track from their self-titled debut, where some people might know this song as I Don't Owe You Anything, because they keep saying that over and over and over again, the chorus. Wonderful. And it has that soft, loud thing that Nirvana did. The only difference is they're doing it more vocally than they are doing it musically. So just a kick-ass album. I love it. It's my number 3. I'll Stick Around, Foo Fighters. Number 2, and I'm here to remind you of the mess that you made when you went away. I love Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill, and I'm going to go with the first song I heard off it. You Ought to Know. This is a fantastic track. Fantastic live, too. I saw her last year at my sister and her friend. We had a fantastic time. Awesome live performer. Awesome album. It's interesting. This is one of those albums that sold a zillion copies. You rarely see it used because it's like a breakup album, and people just held on to this one in case they got pissed off with me.
There's a bazillion of them in the cheapy bins, John. Come on.
In the cheapy bins.
You never see.
I guess we're just more bitter here. We kept our.
Yeah. Maybe where you live, yes, but here in Ohio,
we're bitter, mind you.
Yeah.
She was like the '90s Carly Simon.
That's right.
There you go.
I will say this though: there's not a bad track on it. It's a great record.
Oh, it was great.
It still stands up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic album. My number 1 is another great album that probably sold a very small fraction of what Alanis Morissette sold. It's one of my favorite singer-songwriters. This is Chris Whitley from his album Den of Ecstasy. And I'm going to go with the quasi-title track called Din, which is fantastic.
Yes.
This is an album that's very emotional. Very cutting album. A lot of drama on this, but this is just a song that you play while you're driving on the open road. Fantastic track. 3 minutes of ecstasy. No pun intended. That's my number 1, Chris Whitley, Den of Ecstasy. I'm done.
Greg says, exactly. She always kind of reminded me of a really angry Carly Simon.
Oh, wow. I saw that came out on vinyl.
This sounds great, too. This sounds really good on vinyl too, by the way.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Excellent.
Oh my God, so great.
that.
Rest in peace, Chris.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, absolutely.
Absolutely.
He was the second musician where when he died, I cried like a baby. His music has touched me, resonated with me for so long. I love his music so much.
Yep. I could see that.
All right.
Hearing it myself, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Nutt. Let's throw it over to Yvonne. Yvonne,
Yes.
what's on 5?
Yes, before I take my last 5 picks, I saw in the chat that someone mentioned this album here. This is Circus with Lenny Kravitz, and he has the song Rock and Roll instead. And of course, I forgot this. If I had this will be on my list, but I have said the list already, so I will keep my list. And on my number 10 song, number 5 song is Britpop. Maybe it's a song from a group called Supergrass, and the song is called All Right. And that song was also a song that was in the movie Clueless with Alyssa Silverstone. It's a fun movie about these girls at the school and everything. So it's a very up-tempo, good pop song, and this Supergrass, All Right, I really like. Yeah.
Oh,
I had it as a runner-up.
Yeah, so it's a good one. So let's see. My number 4 pick. That's the song that was originally performed by Tracy Chapman early in '92, but it comes out in '95 as a single and also on the record. Give Me One Reason is the song I have picked, and it's of course on the record New Beginning. But this is a very good song, and I really like Tracy Chapman's voice. She's down there, and she's a good one. And I don't know if she's gonna have some new songs out, but I also waiting for Sade's new album. So Tracy Chapman and Sade is 2 solo singers I'm really like. So that was my number 4 on my list from 1995. Okay, let's see. On my number 3 pick, if of course, is my favorite. This is Prince, and in '95 he was not calling Prince; they called him Symbol. And this is the vinyl and the CD, and the song I have picked is "The Dolphin" with Prince from the Gold Experience album. And I still like his music, and he has a big vault of lot of music that is not released yet. So I think it will come more good songs from Prince, my man. So that was my number 3 on the 1995 list. So let's see.
Is that the one that had Most Beautiful Girl in the World on it?
No, I'm not.
I think that was Diamonds and Pearls.
Yeah, that was the next one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the 1994. It was the Most Beautiful Girl.
Okay.
Also. Yeah. So he also the same year in '95 he released this. This is they call it Warehaus Experience. It is some songs from the catwalk they use in Paris from fashion, but it's also a album from 1995 from Prince, or called The Symbols. Okay, number 2. That's is a song from American group, the Smashing Pumpkins, and they of course released a double album. Melancholy and Infinitive Sadness is the name of it, and the song 1979 I really like. It was released, I think, in '96 in January as a single, but it was, of course, on the album that was released in 1995. So this song 1979, I really like, and the album is good. I don't have it on. I have it on CD, but I could not find it. But maybe I will buy that album on vinyl. So that was my number 2 pick.
Well, I just want to say there. I just want to say there on the Smashing Pumpkins thing. We were talking about the bargain bin thing. Like, I really like that album. There's some really good stuff on it. But like when I was working at a record store in the same chain that Michael Ladano was back in '98, '99, there was no album that had more in the bargain bin than that album. It was crazy, which is weird to me because I look at that album as a great album, and I didn't understand, even then why it was always so in the bargain bin. I don't know.
It did well here in the Midwest. Yeah.
It even more than REM Monster.
Oh, okay, yeah. Actually, yeah. Maybe
Monster is the number one.
How about TLC?
Touche, Grant.
Yeah. I don't mind Monster.
No, I don't mind it
I've
either.
got the original vinyl for it. I probably should sell it.
Yeah.
Probably not worth anything now since they reissued it on vinyl, but I got the original one.
I have one song left, my number one song from the year 1995. And this is a murder ballad, and it's from Australia, and it's two people. Of course, it's Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and Kylie Minogue. And the song Where the Wild Rose Is. And it's a very, very nice, good ballad. And it was released, of course, on the album Murder album that was coming the next year. But it was a single in 1995. And I really like this song. And it's my favorite song from the year 1995.
Excellent. All right. This might be the first time Kylie Minogue has been mentioned on the channel. So congratulations, Yvonne.
Yeah.
Huge hit in Australia. All right.
They're both from Australia.
Great picks, Yvonne. Star, your biggest fan.
Thanks.
Yvonne for president. That Cave song is beautiful. All right. Well, I've got more tracks to too bad Marlon's not here. I have more tracks to disappoint him with.
You can disappoint me, Grant. I'll be here.
Okay, good. Oh, I'll feel a lot better. All right. So Al's going to dig this. So far, Al and I are pretty much on the same bandwidth. Why are some of my picks missing? Well, I can load them. All right. Number 5, I'm going to go Teenage Fan Club. Sparky's Dream. Oh my God, what a great track. What a great record. I saw Teenage Fan Club back in the day, and they were phenomenal. Great band. Power pop galore. I think this is probably a highlight from this album. Call it jangle pop, call it power pop. This is a masterpiece. This is what I'm going to describe as Big Star meets the Beach Boys. Harmonies, chimey guitars. Norman Blake's vocals are phenomenal. I like it. I'm in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in. Number 4. I just kind of came across this record, and I just have to laugh because I used to really dig this track back in 1995. I had to bring it up. Tripping Daisy. I Got a Girl. 1995 came out in June. Dallas band, kind of like an alternative psychedelic track. It was a MTV staple, quirky, catchy. I dig it. It's okay. You never hear it anymore.
Nope.
And we're reliving it. Okay. Well, I'm not going to show the graph. Some way the graphics have disappeared for my next one, but not for my number 3. Number 3, I'm going to go Sunvolt, which this is a band. This is the debut album from 1995, Windfall, alt country. Jay Farrar's first record post Uncle Tupelo, because they broke up. So basically, Uncle Tupelo went into two things, Sunvolt and to Wilco. But this, very rootsy, songwriting's great, twangy guitars, melodies. Jay Farrar's vocals are phenomenal. I have no issue with this record. I think it's probably the best Sunvolt record. So I had to mention that. I got to go to my list because I don't. God, I really want to show that. Hold on, maybe I can find it.
I'll go get it.
Huh?
I'll go get it out of my collection for you.
Right. Oh, there's number 2. Okay, and then number 1.
Well, if you might like it, then you might not have it. Then Byron.
I know. I'm not going to have
it. My number 2. This is one of my favorite albums from this band. This is where my hearing got damaged. Was on this tour, and I always bring that up. Urge Overkill, the song, the break from Exit the Dragon. This album followed up their track from Pulp Fiction, "Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon." That was Neil Diamond track. This has it's very alt rock, but it's catchy. It's kind of sleazy. I love Urge Overkill. I love the whole record. I could have picked anything off of this record, so I had to mention that. And then this is my record of the year for 1995. I love the whole thing, and I remember back in the day that this got a lot of mixed reviews, and I couldn't understand why. I thought this was their masterpiece. I'm going to go with my favorite track on the album. I'm going to go with Bullet with Butterfly Wings off of Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, Smashing Pumpkins. My number one. What's there not to like? A dollar bin favorite, everybody.
It's a great album.
So I don't see it very often anymore in the dollar bin, but I did see it for a while. You could get it for $2 because it was 2 record set, 2 CD set. Anyway, great stuff. All right, kids, look at that. We went an hour and a half, just like we always do on this show.
Grant, I want to say that this is the first time it have been so much variety about the songs we have picked.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
most of the shows we have a lot of songs the same, but this time, this year, it was a lot of different songs.
Yeah, thanks. Anybody, before we wrap it up, anybody have any honorable mentions that they want to go through real quick, and then we'll wrap it up?
Well, there's a few I could say, but
go ahead, Meat. You go first.
I mean, I didn't really think I didn't really dive into songs, but I'll just give you there was I'm surprised that there was no No Doubt, No Doubt, Tragic Kingdom. Yeah. There's an album by Jethro Tull called Rooster Branches. There was a song called Valley that I thought would get mentioned. Jewel, Lisa Loeb, but. Mostly all of my honorable mentions were mentioned by the rest of you. So it's good.
Yeah, excellent. Anybody else? Just go.
I could throw out some.
Right.
Again from the Not Lame catalog, the group The Nines, which is a group that sounds like XTC meets the Beach Boys. The song "Free of It All," Faith No More with Star AD. Jill Sobule coming up again. I can't believe I'm so locked into this woman's music. The Girl in the Affair, Foo Fighters, Big Me, Supergrass, All Right, which was also picked, and Teenage Fan Club, Disco Light.
Oh, nice. All right. Excellent. Nice. Anybody else?
I have one song that is not mentioned. What?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was Brown Sugar. Brown Sugar with D'Angelo is a very good hip-hop song that was released in 1995. So that was, and Daft Punk with Daft Punk, the song called with the same name was also in 1995. So those two songs. And The Verb, This Is the Music, another Britpop group.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool Jan Arden song that was mentioned.
Jan Arden, Insensitive.
Yeah. It's a cool song.
Stars coming in with Slash's Snake Pit. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Michael Jill Solobule. Am I pronouncing that right?
Sobule.
Solobule. Haven't you brought Jill Solobule up before, DC?
Yeah, her first album was produced by Todd Rundgren. That was one of my picks a couple years back. One of the songs of that album.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Cake, Rock and Roll Lifestyle. David Bowie, Hello Space Boy. All right, kids, we're going to wrap this up. It's been an hour and a half. It's been fun. These year shows are always a lot of fun, and it's true, like Yvonne says, we've had a lot of variety here tonight. So anyway, I want to thank the panel, Johnny Metal, BM Bolt, Uncle Meat, Eric Hansen, DC Toontime, John the Music Nut, and Yvonne. He's holding up Batman Forever.
And that also have this Hold Me song called Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me with You Too. That was also in 95, that song.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, also cool. Good one with You Too.
Yeah. All right, kids. Well, technically, we're going to try to do 1996 if everybody's interested. It gets harder and harder. If you're all interested, we can still do it again. As long as we do it in an hour and a half, I'm good.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll reconvene next month for 1996, kids. So please like, subscribe if you haven't. Check out Johnny Metal's channel. Check out John the Music Nuts channel. Check out Yvonne's channel. Yvonne, everybody, yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. See everybody. Have a good. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, DC. Byron and I are doing Gary Moore. Tell everybody what we got coming up real quick, Byron.
We're going to start out with just the Skid Row period tomorrow.
So we're doing the Gary Moore series in the Warehouse.
Yeah.
So I haven't decided if we're going to record or go live yet. I don't know yet. I haven't got that far. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
It's 3:30 here, so I think I must sleep.
Yeah. Yvonne has to go to bed.
Yeah.
That's off to Yvonne, man. That's a sacrifice. The middle of the freaking night doing this show. Come on now. Come on.
I'm sure he took a nap. All right, everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one. Keep it clean. Wrap the rascal.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.